bigger. And the bigger the mounds get, the more addicted you are.
Yeah.
If you only have one cigarette a year, the mound's very small.
Yeah.
If you have 20 cigarettes a day, the mound's quite big and it's getting bigger. So you'll find it harder to give in, because this growth, this mound of sediment has got bigger and bigger and bigger. And that applies to everything, to alcohol, to heroin, all the substances. And then it also applies to the social addictions we have. The addictions within pornography, gambling, social media. Any of the I do differentiate and make that difference between substance addiction and social addictions.
Yeah, it's like behavioural
really
also. Yeah, like
but they both sort of work in a similar way. Like the more you check your Instagram and the more you check your Twitter, the more you check your Instagram, the more you check your Twitter. The more you smoke cigarettes, the more you smoke cigarettes. You know, I at one point, I'm sure I could chain smoke cigarettes quite easily. If I was out partying and I was taking cocaine, I could chain smoke joints quite easily. And that same substance addiction can be reflected in social addictions as well. The more you watch pornography, the more porn you want to watch. The more you gamble, the more you want to gamble. I'll just bet another $20. I'll just bet another $100 because I might win my money back.
Yeah.
But if you could control your gambling, it wouldn't be a problem. I said that before. If you can control your habits, you don't have a need to go into recovery. You don't have a need to, because you can control it.
Yeah.
You know, I can have one joint. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can have one glass of wine. That's fine. But can you? Can you just have one glass of wine? And do you not realize that one glass of wine is quite debilitating on your when you become a social alcoholic, or your liver actually scars really badly as soon as the alcohol touches your liver. So once you start realizing how much of a tempo your body is, one glass of wine is not that great for you.
No, totally.
You know what I mean? Like, because even when you get little bottles of I don't know, whatever they are, you know, essential oils that you take, they're all in alcohol. They're all in 5% alcohol, a lot of them. That scars your liver irreparably. It damages your liver. So the sort of one glass of wine or the one cigarette a day, or I'll just smoke 2 joints a day, I'll just smoke a vape, I don't think that's any much help to many people, which is why personally, and if you have the spirit and if you have the heart, I would always tell people to just abstain from everything that they want to abstain from, and go through the cold turkey, go through the withdrawal.
Something really interesting, Stu, that you were mentioning, and it's something that I always been thinking about, like, because I've never been, like, in that sense, like a drugs or drinking addict. But do you always stay an addict, or do you say I'm an ex-addict, or like how does that?
I always say it comes from a Scottish film, and it starts, my name is Stewart and I'm a recovering alcoholic. Because every time in summer when I'm on the bike and I'm cycling about the West End and I've been teaching yoga and I'm going to the park and I see hundreds of people sitting out on the grass having beer, I do want a beer. I definitely want a beer. The same way as a vegan, when I see people having cream cheese and brie and smoked salmon bagels, I really want a smoked salmon bagel and cream cheese, but I know I'm not going to have it. You know what I mean? For 35 years, I've never had it. So, but I still got a craving for it. You know, I still got.
Are you also a recovering vegan?
I'm a recovering carnivore. I definitely, being brought up Scottish, after 30 odd years of veganism, I still when I smell bacon and fried onions, I go, oh my God, that's bacon, isn't it? That's sausages and fried onions. And you know yourself, you know, when you see someone having your favorite Dutch cheese on bread, sometimes you think, wow, remember what that used to taste like? That's really nice with a glass of wine, or that's really nice with pasta. You know, you know, my pizza one would be something like, gorgonzola pizza. I used to love gorgonzola pizza in one of the Italian restaurants. And when I go out with my friends and I have a vegan pizza and I look and they're having a gorgonzola pizza, I go, wow, I know what that tastes like. And I used to really like that. But I know what heroin tastes like, and I used to really like that. I know what alcohol tastes like, and I used to really like that. I know what cocaine tastes like. I used to really like that.
Is it difficult to still, when you say like, I'm a recovering alcoholic, is it difficult to still have that word as sort of like, you know?
What it is time. It's making space. For the first few months when you're apart from that addiction, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Whether it's a substance addiction or a social addiction, it's very difficult because it's a small period of time. See, as that period of time becomes longer and longer and longer, and you've not had a cigarette for 7 years, and you've not had any marijuana for 4 years, you don't really think that much about it. Or when you do think about it, it's quite fleeting. It's a very quick addiction. You go, it would be really nice to have some ecstasy. And you watch the people having ecstasy for 20 seconds and you go, yeah, but I'm not going to have any. Okay. and I'm fine without it. I don't know, I'm perfectly fine in my yogic state and I don't need anything like that. And I think it's to do with space and time. And it's not spatial time. It's not like I've given up for 6 years. You could have given up for 6 days. And it's a very big pull on you not to have a cigarette. It's a very big pull on you not to have a drink of wine. But you know what? As that period gets longer and longer and longer, you should never look at it in spatial time and say, I gave up smoking on the 23rd of October, 2021. I've not smoked for 425 days. Forget that. Yeah. Forget that. Just say I've not had it for a long time. And the period of time, as it gets longer and longer and longer, then your fleeting desire lasts shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah, right.
Makes sense.
Being a big cyclist, I don't know what people are like in Amsterdam, but a lot of couriers and a lot of bike people who live on bikes, yeah, they'll sit down on the pavement and smoke a joint. Yeah, so you sit in the pavement and you smoke a joint. And when I was cycling years ago, we used to always stop at the same places and have a joint. And sometimes when I cycle by those places, I see people sitting and I know some of them are having a joint. And I go, shit, I used to stop there and have a joint. And the first few months of doing that, I used to go out my way not to go near those places.
Yeah.
And when I DJ'd in a pub, I would never go and DJ and I would never play for years. I'd say, I can't DJ, I can't go to a nightclub because there's beer, there's ecstasy, there's cocaine, there's cigarettes. So I stopped doing them. And that's your satsang in a way. You know, once you create your satsang, you have to completely make a cosmic shift of who you spend your time with.
Yeah.
Not forever, just for that period of time until you learn to deal with your addictions. And the longer, now I can go to a nightclub. I mean, I'm 22 years without drugs, 23 years without any drugs, any alcohol. And I can go to a nightclub and I can play records and I can stay in the club and I can watch people being stupid on drugs and listen to them for so long. And then I lose my patience and I go home. But before I couldn't even go there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hi, Stewart. Hi, would you like a line of Coke? Do you want to go for a joint? Hi, would you like some ecstasy? And after a while, they don't ask you anymore because they know you don't take anything anymore. So they just let you do your own thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's to do with time.
Yeah.
I think it's to do with space. And the longer you're away from things, the easier it is to deal with the cravings, to deal with the addiction, which we've all have and we won't lose. And it's like an illness, it's never cured.
Yeah, I just want to say that that's also what you mean, I guess, also with the addiction is then not curable because it's always going to be there.
Oh, it's always going to be there. It's always
you'll always be for the rest of your life. You'll be a recovering alcoholic.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll always be that. Yeah. I think so, and I think these people, a lot of the people who are really experts in that field, I think they go along with that as well. I think they go along with that. I think they're pretty, the people who work 24/7 with addicted personalities. in substance and social. I think they go along with that sort of thinking. But,
yeah, that it's always there. Do you have a
it's
question?
always there.
Rehabs, I think their main technique is actually to acknowledge that you are an addict first.
Yeah.
First you acknowledge, and then you deal with whatever you need to deal. But like the acknowledgement of it's really important.
Yeah.
Because then you can face everything else.
Yeah.
You face your own fears. You can face your own addiction. You can.
Face... That's the second.
Yeah.
That's the second step.
Yeah, but I do have.
Miguel has a question,
Stu, when you mentioned that you kind of quit drugs like overnight, you did it.
I can. Most people can. I can. I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah.
Very unique, definitely. Very unique.
Yeah.
But did you do it because you start feeling bad, in the sense that most people I know, whenever they're having fun with drugs, they don't stop, obviously, because that's the best feeling ever. Only when they start getting either consequences of those, meaning bad consequences of drug abuse, or or it was just you shifting your life and changing your life.
I think ecstasy's got a lot to do with a lot of things in my life, like proper ecstasy, MDMA. And MDMA can definitely give you a shift, and it can actually act as a sort of something that's going to give you basically a push. And the great thing I found with ecstasy was I'm one of those people that really enjoyed every drug. Most of the time, I really enjoyed a lot of the drugs. Yeah, I really was like a psychonaut. I really enjoyed DMT. I enjoyed ayahuasca. I enjoyed LSD 25. I enjoyed the liberation and the freedom I got from drugs. And I wasn't one of those people who were like sort of dark in a tunnel about drugs. I was quite, as you say, I had fun with them.
Yeah.
And the famous Boy George once said, I don't regret the drugs that I've taken. And I'm the exact same. I don't regret all the drugs I've ever taken. I don't have any regrets about them at all. I wish I just hadn't taken so many.
Yeah.
And he said the same thing.
Yeah.
And I wish I hadn't hurt so many people. That's another thing, because the thing we're doing in the next addiction session is writing on a page of paper who you want to apologize to, the people you fucked up while you were on drugs or you were addicted to things.
Yeah.
So I think in my head, I had fucked up so many people in my life because of drugs, and my physical health wasn't working. It probably went in this order. I'm a fucking horrible person. I fucked up a lot of people, and it's time for this to stop. Yeah, because being a drug dealer is different as well. I sold a lot of drugs. So being in that environment with people who dealt in drugs and the personalities of drug dealers, because a lot of them you have to be quite hard. It's the same in any country. You have to be able to look after yourself. You have to have an attitude. And so the people that fucked up, my physical health was another thing. Like when my Scottish people have got a terrible habit of dying from cirrhosis of the liver. If you drink a lot, we start drinking when we're young, so it's the same as drinking a bottle of Geneva every day when you're 12. We used to start drinking whiskey when we were 12.
And it's quite cultural, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to drink in the local pub with the policeman when I was 13. The local policeman would buy me whiskey, and it wouldn't be like, you're only 14. I can't. You should be in a pub. It was like, do you want another drink? And my dad and mum would give me whiskey. And, it is just a cultural thing. We just drink. The same way Irish people and Danish people. And, we got a big appetite for alcohol. And we've got strong constitutions. So you don't ever get as drunk as other people. You're always looking for more and more and more. So I think when I went to the doctor and he said, your liver's in a terrible state, your kidney's not working very well, and what have you been doing? Your teeth are terrible. My teeth were totally rotten, and that's why I've got new teeth. And that day I stopped. That day I went out and bought